Good morning, friends. Today is June 30th, 2023, and it is a Friday. I just got done going back to the gym for the very first time in, over a year, I think. So that was fun. I mean, like, actually going and working out, because I did go get my gym membership renewed, but I haven't actually gone and done anything in a while. So I'm really super happy that I'm back. I told myself at least just 20 minutes or so, and I'm really, really glad that I did just at least 20 minutes. So I'm really pumped about it. But so the last couple of weeks have been a little bit rough with my poor choices that I've been making, and just kind of like swan diving off the wagon, basically. And I mean swan diving. It was just a glorious head first into it. Yeah, I spat a little bit. But anyway, I've been eating a lot and not exercising properly. Almost not at all. Yeah. So we had a crazy big storm last night in my area. In fact, if it'll work. No, it won't work. Okay, well, there was a big ass tree that was down next to me. So anyway, lots of trees and branches and stuff. I think some people said there might have been a tornado in the southern section of town, so I'm not really sure, but there was a lot happening. And anyway, that was a big deal. The daycare that I'm at, we went down into our youth room that was in the basement and kind of hid out there, basically. I mean, everybody, it was pretty standard procedures. Everybody was fine. Rain came down really, really hard for a little while, and yeah, so that was that yesterday. But I digress a little. I'm still kind of waking up. I've been awake for a while. I think I woke up probably around 5:30 or so and laid in bed for a while and got up at 5:48. Just decided to go ahead and get up, and I was like, maybe today's day one again. Maybe I go to the gym, for the first time in forever. So, but yeah, I ramble a bit. My apologies. But yeah, I just finished. I got up. I went and I stretched, and I had some pre-workout, and I made some coffee. Well, technically, I heated up some coffee is what I did. And I got myself going. My eyes are all red. Wow. So there's something about Canada wildfires, and apparently that air has kind of floated or been carried down into the U.S., and it finally made its way here. I want to say, gosh, it was just a few days ago. I want to say maybe Tuesday. I want to say it was either Tuesday or Wednesday that in the morning, the air was fine, for a normal summer day. And then in the afternoon, when I went to go take my break, I walked outside, and as I was looking through the windows, as I was walking down the hall to go outside at my job, it was super hazy out. It almost looked like there was smoke everywhere. And I'm like, what is going on? And I went out, and the air smelled kind of almost like burnt wiring, and it's weird. So anyway, but yeah, God, but my eyes have been itchy and kind of yucky. I would not say pink eye, but a little, I have seasonal allergies anyway, so it's gonna my asthma and my allergies do act up, but man, though, it's been worse on my eyes and stuff. I did rinse them before I went to the gym too, because they were a little bit crusty in the morning. which they tend to be a little bit, but like the last like probably week or so has been worse than normal. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I'm rambling big time. Uh so back to the actual like original topic. Again, went to the gym today. Earlier this week I weighed myself and I'm back up to 269.4. I was expecting it to be pretty bad as I have not been making good choices really a lot. I've been eating a lot. I've been eating a lot of my stress and my feelings and just kind of, like I said, swan diving off the wagon, like throwing caution to the wind, not really worrying too much about what I'm eating. I'm still logging everything, but it's been, I think, like I use that Lose It app, and I have been eating so much in the last like 2 weeks that I've been over my calories quite a bit. And I think last night, so what it does is it usually gives you like a rough projection based on your last like 4 weeks of eating, and your exercise if you log it and all that. The calories that you take in versus the calories that they give for you to lose, gesturing with my hand. And if you are consistently like still eating within your calorie budget, they will give you, like I said, some kind of like date projection of when you were expected to reach your goal. And I have been eating over, and this is probably the second time, I want to say this is the second time that this has happened, where I've been eating over so much that it gets to a point where if you consistently eat over your calorie budget, the projection doesn't give you a date anymore. I think it usually goes about 2 years out. And then maybe even 2.5 years out. And then you get to a point where it just tells you, on average, you've been eating over X amount of calories a day. And I think last night it said 900 something, which is a lot. But life's been rough and I've been coping by eating. So yeah, everybody's got their vices and mine is eating. And I'm not saying that that's good, because it's not, but that's my big issue there. So yeah, so anyway, yeah, like I said, 269.4, making some poor choices, but today's day one again. I was laying in bed thinking about how, maybe today can be day one again, and the truth is, it doesn't matter how often you have your day ones, as long as you don't completely quit. So yeah, hopefully I will do better and make better choices and be my best self and live my best life. To say that I am stressed out, it's no more than normal. I've got the same work stresses. I've got the same other things stresses, maybe even less so, because I'm done with that settlement with the dog's attack that I had back in 21. And so that's over. That's all settled. So I don't have to worry about that and whatever comes with that anymore. I am, as they're sending me bills, as I'm getting them, I am writing checks and paying them. So I'm making sure to get that paid off. Anybody that's been watching my videos knows I'm engaged, and I'm starting to make more wedding plans, and that's hard. I mean, it's about 2 years out, so it's not going to happen for a while. We discussed moving the date up for a number of reasons, but I don't know, we really haven't decided to do that for sure. But anyway, as of the day before yesterday, I went ahead and checked with Matt on how many groomsmen, because that kind of was going to determine how many bridesmaids I have. And he had asked 3 people. So instead of just my sister and my super best friend in the whole wide world, I picked another lifelong friend of mine, uh, and I asked her if she would, because I asked her before. I said it was half jokingly, but it was absolutely serious, to be my flower girl. And I said, it works out because you're really short. We tease her about being short all the time, and she totally takes it. She's great. But anyway, I was like, you could be my flower girl. I'm like, but if Matt picks a third groomsman, because he was telling me he's got another friend that he'd like to be uh in the wedding party as a groomsman. I'm like, if he will do that, would you want to be my bridesmaid? And she said, absolutely. And I said, but it'll depend on whether or not he will want that third person. So anyway, so I checked with him, and he said the three, yes, he'd already asked them and everything. I wish you would have told me earlier, because then I would have actually been able to ask her earlier. But yeah, so I called her up, and she said yes. So that's cool. So now it's, like I said, it's so many things depend on the bigger factors that I can't really make solid plans. And I'm not one of those girls that's had my wedding planned out since she was a kid, down to the toenail color. So I'm just, I'm, I've got some ideas for dresses. Like I've got 4 dresses that I've looked at online that I might be able to go out, try on in person. And I feel like depending on what dress I get will help me determine the style of bridesmaids dresses, if I decide to have them all look the same. But I might have them maybe pick their own style, just the same color or something. I don't know. There's just so much that goes into all of it, and it's a lot. And then, Matt's Catholic, so he wants a Catholic wedding. So there is a chance that like I've basically got maybe 1 or 2 whole factors in wedding planning that I've actually wanted. I used to be in a string quartet. We played at a lot of weddings back when I was in high school and a few years after high school. And so I've got, like, I, again, don't have it down to the detail by far, but I do know that I would like for it to be outside. And since it's going to be a Catholic wedding, and since I'm not Catholic, there is a chance that we won't be able to have it outside. So that's like the one thing, ironically, the one thing that I really want in the wedding is for it to be outside. And so there's a chance that we might not be able to, just because I am not Catholic, and because of, depending on like how modern the priest is that we end up going with, because I am not Catholic and I'm definitely not planning on converting, we might have to have it in, like, actually in a Catholic church. It's just complicated. So anyway, but the point that I'm making is that depending on whether we can have it outside or inside will also have a factor in what the dresses look like, and what the style is. Because if we're going to have it outside and it's going to be in September, then there is a good chance, because Illinois weather is crazy, it might be very, very hot. And it's late September that we're planning. It might be very, very hot, but it also might be very, very cold. It just kind of depends on what the weather is feeling like. So, and it could be totally mellow too. It might be perfect, just super nice weather. But I want to make sure my ladies are comfortable, and myself, and my guests. So, so anyway, there are a lot of planning factors that all depend on other things, like the bigger things. So, and then also I've got, my colors are a little bit loud, the colors that I like. I'm not planning on picking just 2. But I saw this really pretty bouquet, however you say it, online, that had sunflowers, and I want to say it was like a teal rose, and these little teeny tiny little pink flowers, and then I think even smaller lavender ones. I'm not sure, but anyway, it's a really, really pretty bouquet. And so it's got basically yellow and hot pink and lavender and teal colors in the flowers, and then the bright green foliage that goes with it. Like, it's like a bright green. And Matt and I both love bright green. That's our favorite color. And So I don't know. There's, like I said, there's so much that goes into it. So depending on if it's outside, it really doesn't matter what our colors are. If it's inside, depending on what the church looks like, because I'd like it to look nice together. Like my best friend got married in a church that had a big red carpet, like as basically the runner down the middle aisle. And so, um, I don't know. I don't know. I want it to look nice. And I know that somebody pointed out that I can get like a big thing that could cover a like runner carpet to help with decorations. And to be completely honest with you, no offense to anybody, but I'd really like another reason why I want it outside. I really don't want dead Jesus behind us in our pictures. You know, like Jesus can totally be there with us in spirit, but dead Jesus is just, it's kind of a downer. Dead Jesus hanging out, literally hanging out behind us in the pictures. Um, Again, no disrespect to anybody and their beliefs, but yeah, it's kind of a bummer. So anyway, I digress a whole lot, but yeah, so like I said, we got to pick a venue. We got to find out where the venue is going to be and whether or not the venue is going to be outside or inside. And if it's inside, what the natural decorations of the church are going to look like. That way we can pick like what kind of decorations we want for the wedding. And maybe what kind of colors we want, and that'll also determine like the bridesmaids dresses and maybe the accessories and all this other. And then we've also got to look into premarital counseling, because I think we need it anyway. I'm a big fan of just premarital counseling in general, because I think it's when you're going to make a big commitment to somebody to spend the rest of your life with them, regardless of how long you guys have been together before you get married. If you're making that commitment, then it is good to work out the kinks, basically. And I don't mean that in a weird way either, but there are a lot of differences, and we've got a lot of similar core values, but we have different beliefs, he and I. So there's a lot of things to work out. So yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, anyway, stress. And when I say stress is normal, it's still pretty high, but it's the normal amount that it has been the last couple of years. We finally talked to a real estate agent about my dad's place, and she gave us a lower number than what I was expecting. Like for the house, I was expecting it to be low, but the fact that it sits on a property, I was really surprised at the low number that she gave us. And so, but we do have a general date on when we want to like put it on the market, basically. And that's a couple months from now. So we've already spent one kind of weekend. It was basically one day clearing out the entryway to the house, because like I've talked about before, my parents were hoarders and there was just so much stuff. But and I cried a lot that day, but and that was just the entryway. It wasn't even like in the house with the stuff that I had lived with and all this other, like, so I'm not looking forward to continuing that, but at the same time, I'm looking forward to all of this being over soon, hopefully. It's been a lot. So, but simultaneously, like what we're doing is we're clearing stuff out, we're storing it in our basement, and then we'll be able to go through it. Like we're going to try to go through it in a timely fashion. That way we can get rid of what we need to get rid of, and sell what we can, donate things. Like there's some instruments that we're probably going to donate. My dad likes playing the guitar, and I don't like, and he played the banjo too. And he bought a drum set, and the drum set was intended for my sister, but she didn't really want it just because we didn't really have a place to put it at our house. And he's like, oh, you can come over here and play. There's so much. I don't want to get into details, because then I'll get probably upset and either angry and or sad and cry, and I don't want to do that. So it's just, there are a lot of feelings that happen. There are a lot of grief feelings that happen when you lose people that are close to you in your life, and I've gone through quite a lot of them. But and speaking of which, yesterday was my brother's birthday. So I wasn't super emotional. I got emotional like one time yesterday. I was mad. I was angry, and just frustrated. But again, I digress. It has been 20 minutes. I am going to head inside and take a shower and get ready for work. So, regardless of how everything goes, I'm super thankful and grateful for all the amazing blessings that I've had in my life. Like, super thankful for them because there have been so many, and so many wonderful people that have helped out, be it, financially or physically, with their time, with their skill, whatever. There's just been a lot of help, and I'm really, really grateful for all that. So anyway, I'm going to head inside and get clean, and I'm hoping that today will be a better day. This last week has been very hectic. And I have gone to work many days this last week with the hope and optimism of it'll be a better day, and then it doesn't turn out to be a better day. It's being the same amount of like chaotic, stressful, bummer kind of day. Hectic, whatever. Yeah, so hopefully today will be better. I started off making a good choice. I got out of bed. That was the first one. I got out of bed when I woke up, and I've had many days where I woke up shortly after the sun rises, and I basically turn over and go back to sleep for another hour and a half. So, sleep, lay there dozing, and sometimes I actually sleep, but then the quality of the sleep gets jacked up because I have to get up in the middle of like a REM cycle or something, or I haven't actually slept. I've just dozed and like low key worried about not getting up on time or whatever. But anyway, today I got up and then I went to the gym. So I kept my promise to myself. You get there and just do 20 minutes and you don't have to do any more. And I thought about doing more, but I decided, no, I'm going to go home because I told myself 20 minutes, and then I'm going to go home and I'm going to get a shower and get clean for work. That way I go into work feeling clean instead of going into work feeling disgusting and having to use my break to take a shower. Because lucky for me, I only work like 2 blocks away. Well, probably like 3 blocks away from my job. And so it's a quick drive home and then get a shower and then go back. So today I get a shower before work instead of trying to hustle both before and after. Both before work, trying to hurry to get ready because I didn't get up on time, and during my break after I've been there to hustle to get my shower and go back to work. So anyway, have a lovely day. A happy Friday to anybody watching this on a Friday, and happy whatever day it is to anybody who's not watching it on Friday. And I hope that you have a lovely, wonderful, beautiful life, and make good choices and be your best self and live your best life. And I will talk to you in a future video. Take care.